Media Matters has released several new secretly recorded videos of Tucker Carlson from behind the scenes, which I will show in just a moment. And as I predicted, you will be an even bigger fan of Tucker once you see them. But first, a note about the previously leaked clip, this one, that a lot of people think is a deep fake. I'll give you two reasons why I'm very confident that it's real, although we're all going to get duped by deepfakes later this year, very soon. It's going to be impossible to determine whether or not clips are real or not. It actually already is in some cases, until the software companies release a special software, sort of like a virus scan, that will scan anything that's uploaded to social media, that will analyze it forensically to determine whether or not it's been manipulated. But the first reason is I know somebody who was interviewed in studio by Tucker for the Fox Nation show. And when we were talking a few months ago, I asked him how many people did he think were watching the Tucker Carlson Today show on Fox Nation. And he told me that Tucker told him the same thing. Nobody, because the website sucks. And, nobody could mean 5,000, 10,000 people, but compared to the viewers on the cable show, very sad. And it should be tons of people. And as Tucker revealed in the clip, it's not that it's just a bad idea. The shows are great. The interviews are great. The documentaries are great. And I saw a lot of other comments about this as well. The website itself, the interface, the user experience is terrible. And second, if it was a deepfake, Fox News would have issued a statement saying that. They would have called all the producers who would have been witnesses to this conversation. And if none of them said that it never happened, or Fox News, I'm sure, has the tools to analyze videos to determine whether or not they're deepfakes. If it's a deepfake, they would have said so. And again, it looks and sounds weird for technical reasons that I'm not going to get into. So here's a new one that presumably Abby Grossberg leaked to Media Matters yesterday, showing Tucker in studio, putting in his chewing tobacco, which is not even a secret. He's talked about that publicly, but making some terrible sexist comments, they say.
Well, I feel great. I can never assess my appearance. I wait for my postmenopausal fans to weigh in on that.
Of course, he's talking about the twits on Twitter.
What? They want to control me from afar? Okay, I'm putting the leash on. You can... it, we'll do it live!
Of course, that was a reference to the famous Bill O'Reilly meltdown when he was an Inside Edition anchor like 25 or 30 years ago. And when that video was posted many years later online, of course, it went viral, and F it, we'll do it live became a meme. Apparently there was a problem with the teleprompter, and when they were trying to record the outro, it just wasn't working, and so Bill O'Reilly was getting extra frustrated, and then this happened.
And we will leave you with I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Oh, he did nail it, though.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
A pro. A total pro. Oh. This is another clip that they leaked of Tucker talking with Piers Morgan, who just signed on with Fox Nation for his show over there. And so he was about to interview Tucker for his show, and off air, or what they thought was off air, which you're never really off air when you're sitting in front of a camera. Tucker always knows, as you'll see, everything is always being recorded once you're in the studio. And so, but before they did the official recording for the show, Tucker said this.
So let's, if we're going to talk about sex, I'd love to hit some of the fine points of technique. But it's your show. It's totally up to you.
So this is more supposed evidence that former producer Abby Grossberg is citing in her lawsuit against Fox News for Tucker and his team creating a sexist work environment. She also believes that her staff setting up Christmas decorations created an anti-Semitic working environment. And that's not a joke. This is from her actual lawsuit. Mr. McCaskill installed 3 large inflatable Christmas decorations inside the Tucker Carlson Tonight booking team seating area. A preposterous display that was distracting and loud, as well as one full-sized and one smaller Christmas tree. Oh no! However, anytime Ms. Grossberg tried to turn off the distracting and loud inflatable decorations, Mr. McCaskill would contemptuously demand that the Christmas decoration be turned back on and call her a Scrooge or a Grinch. But this is by far the best clip, and it is now a meme. And may I remind you that this was leaked by Media Matters. Wait for it.
You wouldn't? Okay. I'm not, you know what? I'm not qualified on that score, I will say. I thought his girlfriend was kind of yummy. Just kidding, in case this is being pulled off the bird. Yeah, the bird.
I think he's talking about the satellite because he knows that people are probably recording the satellite feed.
Hey, Media Matters for America. Go f*** yourself. That's the first thing I want to say tonight. Second thing is, totally kidding, I don't even know what his girlfriend looks like. And if I did, I would not find her yummy.
Imagine being Media Matters and getting this clip leaked to you and then actually publishing it and thinking that it makes Tucker look bad. The leaked footage of Steven Crowder, on the other hand, makes him look absolutely horrible, a pattern of behavior that has been confirmed by basically everyone who has ever worked for him. If you missed my previous video on this, go check it out because I'm not going to get into it here. Although there are new revelations from, I believe, 6 former staff members who say that Steven apparently likes to expose himself to other men. And one staffer says that he did something to not gay Jared that I don't even want to talk about. It's so disgusting, but it certainly sounds like a crime. Also, aside from the new Tucker Carlson videos being leaked, there was a text message that was published that when the Fox News board members first discovered it, it alarmed them, and they're saying that this is part of the reason why they fired him. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's rather lengthy, but basically it starts off saying that he saw a clip of an Antifa person getting beat up, and he was glad at first. And then he goes on to say, then somewhere deep inside my brain, an alarm went off. This isn't good for me. I'm becoming something I don't want to be. The Antifa creep is a human being, much as I despise what he says and does. Much as I'm sure I'd hate him personally if I knew him, I shouldn't gloat over his suffering. I should be bothered by it. I should remember that somewhere somebody probably loves that kid and would be crushed if he were killed. If I don't care about those things, I reduce people to their politics. How am I any better than he is? So basically, he had a carnal or an instinctual reaction to seeing a terrorist reaping what he has sown, and then his conscience started kicking in and he started feeling bad for the guy. Oh, and by the way, the part about how he said that that's not how white people fight is because he noticed that there were 3 on 1. And so he felt a little uncomfortable because, well, usually there's a certain group of people in their culture that's common to gang up on one person. And so when Tucker saw his culture doing that, it disturbed him. So this text is being spun and only a half-truth is being told, that it's racist and that only the first part, his kind of initial gut feeling about wanting to see the Antifa guy get payback, that's the only part that's being spread around in the media and, of course, perpetuated by Drudge, who, interestingly enough, dated David Brock at one point in time, the founder of Media Matters. Oh, there's plenty more to come, so stay tuned. But real quick, subscribe to my channel if you're new here because you're not going to get information and analysis like this anywhere else. And the cable ratings are in, and MSNBC is now beating Fox News in prime time, which I think is the first time that this has happened, maybe ever. Fox News brought in 1.59 million viewers, which is almost half of what they used to have when Tucker was the anchor, now that the audience is turning over to Newsmax and OAN, while MSNBC brought in 1.69 million total viewers. CNN landed 3rd place with 481,000 total viewers during prime time. You know, I don't mean to brag, I really don't, but I am just a guy in my kitchen on a laptop, and I am getting more than half of the viewers of CNN's primetime shows. But wait, there's more. Things aren't going very well in late night television either. James Corden, who hosted The Late Late Show on CBS, was losing the network $20 million a year. And his contract was up for renewal, and the only way that CBS could afford to have him on the show is to offer him a multi-million-dollar pay cut. And so he decided to walk away. And as of last night, all of the late night talk shows are airing reruns because there is a writer's strike in Hollywood. The Writers Guild is on strike because they can't come to an agreement about their next contract. And so all of those shows are airing reruns until the strike gets settled. Oh, and by the way, Don Lemon got fired from CNN last week, the same day that Tucker Carlson got fired. So nobody noticed, but it left him stunned. Nobody except Al Sharpton, that is, who works for MSNBC. And he wants a full explanation from CNN as to why they would fire a black man. And this was the last straw. When he was interviewing Vivek Ramaswamy, who is a businessman or a tech entrepreneur who is running for president, but as a brown person himself, he is tired of hearing black and brown people always blaming imaginary racism for keeping them down.
The way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me
shouldn't express
regarding
your
you as
views,
a
but I
black
think it's
man,
insulting that
but
you're
me regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's what I
sitting
think we should
here,
say.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
Whatever ethnicity
about
I am, I'll
what
tell
it's
you-
like to be black.
Whatever
in America.
ethnicity I am,
I'm
I'll tell
sorry.
you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
the
but I think
content
you should-
of the
if you're gonna
ideas.
do it, you should do it in an honest way.
This argument went on for 2 minutes. I'm not going to show you much more, but at one point, Don Lemon was told by the control room in his earpiece to tone it down. And instead of listening and try to get the show back on track, he basically just blew them off and then continued to go further off the rails.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was
Black
part
people,
of what secured
hang
them
on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on 1 second.
So that was his last day on air. Here are his two former lovely co-hosts, however, behaving themselves now that CNN is under new management. They're trying to rehabilitate the CNN brand, and they're pretending like they're an actual news network, and they expect us to forget all the fake news that they were reporting over the last 7 years.
So a quick programming note is on top of all of this, as we are watching politics so closely here, former President Trump is going to take questions from New Hampshire primary voters in an exclusive CNN town hall. I'm going to moderate that event next Wednesday, May 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern.
So looking forward to seeing that. Really important for him to take voter questions. He is the front runner right now in the GOP. New overnight, Samsung.
She's so looking forward to doing that, the teleprompter told her to say. And she did say it, although look at how uncomfortable she is. We are living in the Twilight Zone. Next Wednesday, Donald Trump is going to go into the Lion's Den and do a 1-hour town hall event live on CNN as they pretend like they're an actual news network. Personally, I think this is a fantastic idea because President Trump is one of those people who works best under pressure, and he hasn't been able to speak directly to CNN's audience for years. So I'm really looking forward to it. And if you haven't heard, I'm sure you'll look forward to wearing my new Wanted for President shirt. Order yours from my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below.